Welcome to what you will learn in your first few years studying bassoon at the college or university level. And this is what I learned and what some of my students are learning. So here is a way to ideally practice Jean-Pierre number 4, the Mildy, and the Mozart. For Jean-Pierre number 4, I do not recommend that you do it very mechanically. You are going to have to concentrate on your breathing and on the intonation of it, but you're supposed to be warming up like a vocalist, and so let yourself have a little bit of freedom and do not repeat the various arpeggios. So that really kind of warms you up to thinking a bit more about your sound and the phrasing. And then you just want to make every note as clear as possible, like when you've got just each little note, like I'm looking down where you have the D dominant 7th arpeggio, about the 5th system down, and you're going from a C sharp to a D to a C to an A to an F sharp to a D. It shouldn't be hard. I'm sure it's not hard to sing, but you just want to be careful to listen to every single note and make it as glorious as possible. Try to get it that clear, and it's not really for endurance, but we will hit on that in some other sections, because as you go through an etude like Mildy, you want to build your endurance, and you don't want to practice in like weird tempo habits or just slowing down because you're running into technical difficulties or you're reading notes. So I like the idea of taking it a chunk at a time. And what I do is, if you're recording it and you're listening back and you're having breakdowns, say, this time when I'm recording it, I'm going to go back to this certain phrase, understand like where each of these little phrases is going. And I'm not going to let myself do it the same way. I'm going to make myself do it some other unusual way. So you'll spark your brain to wake up. So we are going to hit what I have as the second page. And I'm also going to advise you that for the dynamics in this, I would just, like, for quiet, maybe do this, and for loud, lean forward. So we can talk more about different dynamics, but that at least gives you a physical cue, like, what are you doing? Within a realm of generally good posture and breathing. And I'm going to move my seat strap forward because I think I spent endless time going over the fact that like the seat strap should actually be about 1 inch away from the end of your chair. So I'm going to do from the E until the G. It's measure 27 to measure 34, and see if there's any like red spots where I think, oh, that really, really needs to be practiced. Yes, I did find one spot that would sound horrible if it came out that way. And I think it involved an F sharp in measure 12. So now when I go through to do this passage again, I'm going to do anything but exactly what's written. So if I can try to figure out why there was such a horrible squawking sound. And yeah, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I want you guys to do. No, that is not an F sharp. So I found another problem. Okay, now I'm going to let myself go back through, and when I get to measure 32, I'm going to also do a couple variations like that. Okay, hopefully that worked everything out. So I'm going back from the beginning to the G of this section. And then even maybe you could just get up and take a mental break and walk around the room for a second. And I feel like I've built up a little bit of endurance, being able to go that far, but also kept myself mentally alert. I would love to hear some of the Bach Sarabande, but I realize the Mildy would probably be a nice thing for you to get a lot of artistry into. And you have to kind of deal within what's coming up next. And so whatever you have a deadline, that's the thing that's more urgent. And then going on to the Mozart, picking an actual tempo that you want to play it at, and making it fun to get into the rhythm. A lot of the coordination problems in the Mozart have to do with the fact you're doing two fingers at once, you know, making those connections. So, but if you can shape it so that you feel like it's a phrase, and again, you're singing through it, it's musical. So I've chosen 96 for today. And you can tell the little section that we're working on. The end of it is very much tossed off compared to the beginning, which is more emotional. But the tossed off part is a little hard to make it sound tossed off, because you feel like, yeah, my fingers are very excited about playing 16th notes. So then I simplified it to go. Well, what happened with that? It's a half hole problem. And I'm going from almost no fingers down with the D to everything down, plus the resonance key on the G. So it needs a little practice. What should I do? Should I mindlessly practice it, grunt and groan? No. We figured it's between the D and the G. I'm hearing the D, but I'm not playing it. Sounds like potato to me. So that was something that William Winstead gave me an idea that, like, if you just like fit a word into it, it can help you hear every last little note and make it special for you, for the Lord, for your audiences. There's a lot of people that care about music, and you taking the time to do as much as you can with it for whatever you're doing. It may seem unimportant, and what you're doing now won't be as great as what you're doing later, but every little bit of progress you make is fun, even if you go back a little and then you go forward a little after that. All right, tune in next time.